Why don't we get through a little bit of this, and then we'll go back to, we'll maybe raise another point of order to see if we can do that.
Okay.
So the clerk has distributed on Monday, May 6th and May 24th, a draft budget on S210 in the amount of $15,000. Does the committee wish to adopt the budget? Can I have a show of hands? All in favor, so that passes. Similarly, I note that the deadline to report Bill S210 to the House is Friday, June 7th. I'm asking, is it the will of the committee to request an extension of 30 sitting days for the consideration of Bill S210 and that the chair present a report to the House?
No, there isn't,
Chair. Show of hands on this, please.
No. No, there isn't,
All
Chair.
in favor?
Chair, it's not a vote. You can't call a vote. If you're removing the motion, I'd like to speak to it.
The chair is entitled to seek guidance from the committee whenever
you cannot end debate on it, and this will be an issue in the House if you do, Chair. You can't end debate on it. If this is a matter to be debated, then I'd like to debate it.
Make an issue in the House.
You cannot arbitrarily cut off speakers or limit debate on a matter before the committee. That's a clear violation of the standing orders, and it is appealable to the House. So if you'd like to move that an extension be requested, then I would like to speak on that matter.
Well,
and I will be heard.
Such a motion. I'm asking guidance from the committee.
Not agreement of the committee. There are two ways the committees come to decisions, either by agreement or by a motion. If there is a motion before this committee, then I wish to speak to it. You cannot get agreement of the committee when members dissent unless debate ends. So that is how the rules work.
The decision of the chair is to seek advice of the committee on this matter. Do you wish to challenge the chair?
Chair, I wish to speak on the motion before the committee. And you need to respect the rules. This is not allowed, and I will speak to the motion. If you're putting a motion on the floor on an extension, I wish to speak to the motion. Now, the committee has before it a number of matters to consider. And those matters...
Mr. Numa, have it on point of order.
I don't believe there was an actual motion on the floor, so there should be no debate.
There is no actual motion on the floor?
There is not agreement of the committee.
Excuse me. Please don't interrupt. I've asked the committee for advice, for guidance.
Point of order, Chair.
Before the committee.
There is not agreement of the committee to proceed in this fashion. The committee does not agree. You cannot demand agreement without allowing people to speak on it. And if you let the clerk speak, he will confirm exactly what I'm saying. The chair has to respect the rules.
The chair has decided to ask the committee for guidance.
The chair must respect the
decision
rules.
of the chair.
Is there a motion on the floor?
If you wish to challenge the chair on this matter,
Chair,
please do so.
Is there a motion on the floor?
There is no motion on the floor.
Then there is no agreement. Chair, you will respect the rules.
Back it up from the mic, please.
You
Back
need
from the mic.
You need to respect the rules, Chair.
So the decision of the chair is to seek advice of the committee.
Chair, is there a motion before the committee or not?
Mr. Jennings, the chair has the floor. You do not. The chair is asking the committee for advice on a matter that is of time urgency.
The committee does not agree. The committee does not agree.
You do not speak for the committee. I will ask the committee
Sir,
if you wish to challenge
you cannot
do not
presume
interrupt.
the agreement of the committee without a motion. And I'm not going to back down on defending the rules or the prerogatives of this committee. I know the rules better than you do, Chair, and ask the clerk. Get the clerk's opinion on this. Because the clerk knows that I'm right. The speaker will know that I'm right. And for you to think that just because you sit in that chair, you can show flagrant disregard for the rules and the way they protect the privileges of members is disgraceful. So if you want to put a motion before the committee, then we can have a motion and we can debate it. And if you are not putting before a motion, then you have no agreement of the committee.
That in this instance, the point of orders are being used to talk over the chair. And Mr. Jennings keeps taking control of the chair from you. Control of the floor from you, Chair. I'm finding it very difficult to follow. He keeps talking over you. Does he know? Is that part of the rules of the House? Can you talk over the chair? Can you just take, if you want to bully your point across, do you just take the floor? Is that how it works around here? But I'm finding this very difficult to follow, Chair, because you keep getting talked over.
Thank you very much. Point of order.
The committee does not agree.
Mr. Janice, I have the floor. So in exact like manner as I just achieved approval of the committee to approve the budget, I'm asking for the committee.
No, Chair, there was unanimous agreement on the budget.
Point of order,
The
Mr.
committee
Chair.
agreed unanimously on the budget.
They may have voted unanimous, but I did not ask for unanimous consent.
The committee
Mr.
agreed
Newman,
unanimously on the
point of order.
budget.
It is noted in Boston Gagnon that any efforts to undermine or disrespect the authority of the chair can be considered disorder and misconduct. At this stage, Mr. Genius's language in respect of his conduct towards you and the function of this committee, without actually having given you the opportunity to finish what you were saying, would appear to now be sitting somewhere in that zone.
On that point, Chair. On that point.
Okay, we'll suspend for a couple minutes. You
Okay.
can discuss your other matter, but meanwhile, the chair is.
There is not agreement.
You do not agree. You do
No,
not speak for
the committee does not agree.
You do not agree.
The committee does not agree.
We will
There is
suspend
no
for 5
agreement of the
minutes.
committee.
5 minutes.
You cannot do this.
So there has been a lot of serious negotiation in the back room. Mr. Jennings, did you wish to speak to that point?
Yeah, Chair. Just I think there's an agreement that we distribute the draft Bernardo report, that an auto theft report be drafted and distributed, that investigation of Bill C-70 begin on Thursday, and that we proceed with the hearings as scheduled today. Is that?
Do we have unanimous agreement?
Okay, great.
There's a question here by the clerk about the auto theft report. We haven't given instructions yet to the analysts.
Analysts are very wise and capable people, and
Well, that is true. That is an absolute. So let us leave it at the point where they will go forward as best they can, and because they teach us anyway. That being the case, we have unanimous consent for that agreement. Are you clear, Mr. Clerk, on what that is?
I do.
Okay. Very well. Let us get back to S210. Let me first acknowledge that Mr. Jennings was not wrong before. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Chair, I want to acknowledge that was very gracious of you, and I want to compliment you for saying so,
thank
because
you.
I think that is, no, I want to say it's a credit to your character to acknowledge that with the
Well,
rules. I appreciate it.
we're going to start hiring you for procedural advice. So, Mr. Nur Mohammed, please.
I would just, it's not a point, I just want to say, like, we actually all managed to do this together, and it was I think it was a really important signal that when we have a commitment to doing something together and having common purpose, we can actually get stuff done. So I just wanted to thank my former colleagues from this committee, whom I miss dearly, for allowing us to do it. We're all working together.
There you go.
We're all going to Heritage now.
And actually, this process is not particularly unusual for this place at this time of year, nor is the sudden rapprochement towards the end. So, to our witnesses, thank you for waiting. So, we'll continue with your remarks now, followed by questions. You were slated for a full hour. We have resources to give you that full hour. Mr. Dufresne is out there with Miss Lily Lara Ives, right? And I've advised them that when we start, we will bring them in an hour later. So we will have that full panel as well. So that being the case, I would like now to welcome our witness, who is the sponsor of Bill S-210 in the Senate. And I should note that Senator Deschênes has been shepherding this bill through the various processes since 2020. And I think she's launched it like 4 times. Anyway, so we're glad to at last have you able to speak. And so we have the Honorable Julie Milleville-Deschênes, Senator. We have also, as an individual, Jérôme Lucier, Director of Parliamentary Affairs for the Office of Senator Milleville-Deschênes. And I now invite the Senator to make an opening statement of up to 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Donc, je vous remercie de
Thank you for inviting me to present Bill S-210. I'll be happy to answer your questions in French, but I'll be starting in English because most of the criticisms were done mostly in English. So to answer your question, there have been 2 studies in committee because of elections. We heard 24 witnesses. There were 28 briefs. So this bill has been well studied at the Senate.
210 seeks to apply to online porn the rules that normally apply offline. The bill does 3 things. First, it requires websites that offer porn to verify the age of users before they can access that content. Second, it sets up an enforcement mechanism that can result in non-complying websites getting blocked in Canada. And third, it provides that acceptable age verification methods will be decided in regulation to be adopted after consultation and with input from experts. The bill specifies that any approved method must be reliable, collect information solely for age verification purposes, destroy any personal information once the verification is done, and comply with best practices. Polls indicate that close to 80% of Canadians support age verification to access porn online. But Bill S210 has been attacked, and I want to correct some misrepresentation. It has been said no country has done this. This is false. Germany, France, the UK, the European Union, and several US states have passed laws and regulation to impose age verification to access porn. Spain is expected to launch a pilot project soon, and Australia, which has paused this work, announced last week that it will move ahead. It has been painted as a partisan or ideological bill to control sexuality. False. Age verification is supported by the socialist government of Spain and the conservative government in the UK. In California, an age verification bill was recently approved unanimously by 2 legislative committees. This is not partisan legislation. It has been called an attack on free expression. False again. Bill S210 would not affect the availability of porn for adults. It would simply prevent children from accessing it. In Europe, porn sites have challenged age verification laws, and they have failed at every stage. In the US, a country known for its robust speech protection, porn sites have challenged the laws, and they have failed all the way to the Supreme Court. It has been said that age verification would mean submitting personal identification to porn site. False again. In Europe and elsewhere, age verification is typically done by third-party companies using methods that transmit no personal information to porn sites. These are among the best practices we would expect in Canada as well. It has been said that this bill would block all forms of nudity. False. The bill uses the standard definition of pornography found in the criminal code. The bill also provides for usual exception for art, science, and education. It has been said that this bill would impose age verification to all websites. False. Bill S210 only requires age verification to access porn content. If a website contains porns and non-porn content, age verification is only required to access porn content. It has been said that there's no way to check someone's age without compromising privacy. False. France is developing a double anonymous method. The UK regulator has recommended age estimation approaches that collect no information. Australia has explained its recent decision to move ahead with age verification by saying that the technology it has looked at only a year ago has already improved. Finally, it has been said that age verification is useless because kids will find ways around it. This is once again false. Actual studies show that only a small number of children know how to evade these restrictions. It's possible that some older teenagers and adults will use VPNs to bypass age verification, but it's highly unlikely that large numbers of 8, 10, and 12 years old will do so. So I will be happy to take questions, but please, please, don't let Canada be the last place on earth where pornographers are more protected than children.
11 seconds over. Pretty good. We'll let it go. We go now to questions with Mr. Jennis. 6 minutes, please.
Thank you, Senator. I'm going to go quite quickly through a series of questions. I'd be grateful if you could be as short as possible, even providing a yes or no where appropriate. You said in the Senate study, 24 witnesses, 28 briefs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In two committees, because we had to do it twice. The bill passed twice, the Senate.
Okay. And after those hearings, the bill was passed unanimously and unopposed by all senators. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does Bill S210 create or call for the creation of a digital ID?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Would it be possible to use the provisions of this bill to create a digital ID?
No,
Okay.
there's zero mention of digital ID in this bill.
Thank you. Bill S210 requires that some age verification method be used, but it does not prescribe the method. So is that correct, and why not explicitly define the age verification method in statute?
Well, this is how we write proper legislation. Age verification are technical by nature, and we have said in the bill, and it's very clear at Article 11, that precautions have to be taken, best practice has to be used, privacy has to be respected. But to choose age verification method in the bill would be a grave error because those techniques change. And we want in the regulation, the specialists, the experts, and the government to choose the best age verification method at the time they will act on it.
As technology evolves. Okay, so are there age verification methods that do not involve identity verification?
Yes. If I take here, if I quote from the Ofcom, which is the regulatory agency in Britain, one of them, they say kinds of age insurance that could be highly effective because they're at the stage of putting in regulation. They have passed a whole bill about that. And they mention face age estimation, which is, you've heard about age estimation. It works by analyzing the feature of a user face to estimate their age, but there's no collection at all of identity. It's done through estimation plus or minus 2 years. So that's
Okay.
one of them. There are obviously others.
And there are others besides the face method that would not involve looking at face, but also still provide age estimation without identity.
Absolutely.
Okay. Could the verification process be done by a third party such that a person's identity